Hello everybody, this is Jehoiadak Maccabeus Everyday Survival, and I hope everybody's having a good day out there. Hope everybody's well fed and staying safe. Hope everybody's thankful for what you got. I was going to wait and do this video after I was 100% complete with this project, but I got rain coming in over the next 3 days, and I wanted to get this out there so you had the basic concept of what I was shooting for. Might be something that you can use in the future in your life. Yeah, get me a cigarette. I roll my own cigarettes. Got a machine. Rolls it in a tube with a filter. I can roll a carton of cigarettes for about $5 or $6. Saves me a lot of money, and it cuts down on my smoking. When I was buying store-bought cigarettes, I was hitting 2 packs a day easy, and I only do a little over a pack. These here, I pre-roll about 25, take with me throughout the day in a Ziploc bag. But anyway, that's not the project. I did get my new zombie response team shirt. You can get a good look at it. Get bit, get lit. I like it. Pretty comfortable. It's cool. Not just cool, but it's cool. Other than being black, but it's that material. I don't know what it's called, like Under Armour's made out of. But anyway, most of y'all probably aren't interested in that. What I'm doing is I needed a barrel to store a bunch of wheat and oats that I picked up recently and I've got plenty of wheat and oats, but the price is steadily jumping, and I was paying $22 or $23 for a 50-pound bag of wheat 2 years ago, and it's up to $45 now. And my Amish guy that orders it, he's having a hard time getting a hold of it, and just something you ought to be stocking up on. And I've got plenty, and I've always stored extra stuff for the community I live in. Any new folks, you can go back and watch People Are a Resource. And I live in a small hamlet on a river. I did do a total the other day, a couple weeks ago, and there's about 65 people right here within a half a mile of my place, and probably twice that within 2 or 3 miles. It's pretty rural. We don't have any real problem people here in the area. The guy across the road and his wife, the teeth with legs, his name's Shitstain. You can go back and watch some of my older videos, Survivalist, when I told about him. They've just constantly stirred shit with people. The last round they started crap with the neighbor down below me, new neighbors. He has PTSD. It's all in that video, but they're just shit stirrers that they try to bully people, and then when you stand up to them, then they want to brandish a firearm at you. And I'm not a cop caller, and I've got a video that I made. I recorded them because I haven't had any problems out of them for years. I put cameras up on this building, and they leave me be. As long as you got a witness, they'll leave you alone. But they started shit with the neighbor down below me, and I just let them know, you start any more shit with anybody, I'm gonna get straight up your ass. No doubt. I'm not calling the sheriff. I'm not getting the court involved. I'm coming after you. I can prove what you've been for the last 16 years. We'll settle this shit. Straighten up, get some adulting skills, or move. One of them. You need to do something. Anyway, that's beside the point. Video I done last year, Everything's a Resource. I think it's number 2. I picked up a bunch of spools, different sizes, from the company I work for, and I needed a barrel to put this wheat and stuff in. But that's what I was telling you about, the wheat. I store wheat for the community too, because if things ever go completely bad, we're going to need wheat for seed to grow more wheat, and that's my plan. But anyway, sorry, I get sidetracked and get to talking. I'll get busy with it here, folks. Let me get this thing turned around. All right, this is the barrel I made yesterday evening. The bottom and the top are going to be these smaller spool ends. These were already busted up when I got them. That's how the phone company, a lot of companies do it. They bust them up to get them in the dumpsters so that they don't take up as much space. The metal parts I got from the phone company about 2-3 years ago in a pile that they had busted up, and they've sat around for a couple of years getting wet and everything. They're not rotted, but they're discolored and got that wood mold growing on them. I got to sand it all down. I will finish it up. The metal part is off the ones just under that size. That's one of the real big ones. I'm gonna make a hot tub out of one of them. But what I've done, that's the bottom. I'm gonna put a piece of metal on the bottom, some sheet metal. And I may cut a piece of plywood round and stick in the bottom, seal it up better. And I'll probably hit them cracks with some Lexel or some kind of sealer. Keep bugs and stuff out of it. This is yellow pine. I wouldn't necessarily use it for water or anything like that. But the point of doing this is using the resources available. And, you know, I know this isn't the standard way of being a cooper, but if the grid goes down and things fall completely apart, to build barrels by the traditional cooper standards, like whiskey barrels, you're going to have saws. You know, if there's no gas, you're not going to be out there running your chainsaw. I've got crosscut saws, but that's a whole lot of work to build a barrel. Then you got to buck the logs down into size, and then you got to get the logs to a sawmill, or however. There's a whole lot of work to processing up a log just to get some stuff out to make a barrel. And if I was brewing whiskey or something like that, I would definitely want some oak. I would probably find some other salvaged oak to make it out of myself. But this is all resources that are already available to make a barrel. That band on top is just a cutout strip off of a piece of barn metal, kind of like what's on my building there. And I'm gonna put a couple more on there. The next one I'll do something a little different. That band didn't work out just perfect like I liked it, but it was real difficult to work with because it has this ripple in it. It doesn't bend as easy. And I should have probably put a straight line around it with the chalk line, but it turned out all right. The nails, there's another video called the Shit Hits Fan Trading Post or something like that. This is one of the canisters of nails that was in all that stuff I hauled in. Everything salvaged, everything scavenged, however you want to call it. The lid, I'm going to see that lid, it fits flush around the edge just like the bottom. Because what I done is I stood one of the sides up and put one of these on the edge of this window with the upright on it, and I just started putting torque screws in it and just followed the pattern of my barrel all the way, or of my round all the way around. 3.5 inch torque screws. Also on the top, put torque screws in, shooting them at an angle over into the one next door to help hold the other one together. I'll probably do some things different on my next one, and I'll probably sand all my wood down on the next one. I wanted to get this wood used up because it's been sitting around. There's no need of wasting it. But I'm just going to store bags of wheat and oats in it for now, just to keep varmints and shit out of it. And then I can mylar it up later. And I'll probably throw some 7 dust in the barrel too, just to keep bugs and shit out of it. Or if any weevils hatch beforehand. My freezer's full, or I would put them in the freezer and freeze them out. That's something you want to do when you get beans or rice or wheat or anything like that. They need to go into a deep freezer for a couple weeks and freeze off that larva so they die off. Another thing I got here. Hold on, let me pause this so I can get set up. Another thing that I have done here in the last week. Let me flip this around again. My Porkert 150 grinding cracked corn video a couple weeks ago. This chick feeder I'd made, and I hadn't had any problems out of it. They hadn't been knocking it over. And I know it looks flimsy and everything, but they were always content. I kept it full, and they never knocked it over. Well, that day I took it out to grind that cracked corn, and it was gone maybe hour to 2 hours. And when I come back, they were raising hell, hollering, "Food shortage, food shortage, food shortage." And I filled up the feeder and put it back in there, and they dogpiled on that thing and ended up knocking it over. And for about 3 or 4 days, every time I'd fill it up, they was knocking it over, and it just became a real mess. I put a screw in the back side of it to try to hold it in place, and put a coat hanger wire around it, try to hold it to the pin. They still found a way to get on top of it, and once they figured that out, there was no security in the food system. So I had to make her. And this bottom piece is an old speaker that the paper was all blowed out, cracked and blowed out of, ripped, you know, and they're basically no good at that point. And so I knocked the magnet off of it and tore all the paper out of it. I still ought to cut them things off. I just didn't get around to it. I done it in the evening after work, and was in kind of a hurry. This can is a Sweet Sue chicken and dumpling can. I buy a lot of stuff at the Amish store. It's a scratch and dent store. You can get them big cans of chicken dumplings for 95 cents. And it's not something they have in there all the time, but I bought a bunch of them when they had them. That's quite a bit of food for 95 cents, folks. Then on top, this is a peanut butter, a great value, a great value peanut butter lid. And it fit just a hair loose on there, so I threw some duct tape around it to take up that slack. It snaps right on there. That board's just a chunk of walnut board that I had sawed off. I don't throw much of anything away like that. You know, I can always use it for something. Then I used a couple metal, barn metal screws to screw the speaker down in place. It already had holes there. And it worked real good. I'm done with it now. The chicks I moved them out yesterday with the adults out in the big pen. But this video is getting pretty long. And just some ideas for you. When you don't have money to get something, or the grid's gone and all you got left is resources to scavenge, and all that living well lifestyle that you thought you had pre-planned for the shit hit the fan's gone, because that's a highly likelihood. Most people don't ever talk about that. Good chance you're going to lose your shit. Everybody wants a dog-eat-dog world. There's a pretty good chance you're going to lose your shit. But anyway, it's nice to know how to make something out of nothing. It's kind of like bushcrafting, but not. That's all I got. Y'all stay safe. Have a good day. Hope you got something out of it.